talking basketball. They're fucking dumb as shit. They talk about basketball, but they will make dumb ass jokes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pod Don't Lie with Sam and Stav. The boys are fucking back. Now I'm the one traveling. I'm the one fucking discombobulated. I'm at the Cumtown retreat, Sammy. We've started a tradition. Every year around October, end of October, early November, we go to a cabin. And if people think we phone in our regular episodes, boy, are they going to love what they're going to hear from now until January.
Not a lot of topical stuff.
What
do you do if there's like another COVID, like another wave, and
What do? I don't give a fuck. I let the Patreon check come in. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do when I see I find it funnier. I hope people will be talking. People will be listening to episodes and we'll be talking about watching Hocus Pocus. Into like fucking.
Did you just watch that?
Just watch Hocus Pocus.
How does it hold up? I haven't seen this as a kid.
You know, I was blazed out of my fucking mind, Sam. I'm gonna be honest with you. Massachusetts is a legal weed state, and we are in the area that borders New York. So there's a ton of dispensaries because a lot of people come from like right over the border. So I am a fucking mess.
That's what white people call the border.
Yeah, where you can get legal weed. So I've been fucking high out of my fucking mind and eating just dog shit. That's what the cabin's about. It's about doing drugs, podcasting,
what are you eating?
Making your body feel bad. The first night we went to this fucking restaurant called it was like the squid something. I don't remember what it was. But it wasn't squid. The meal wasn't squid, but it was like this nice like little one of those like restaurants in a small town that like, you know, they're a little better than the regular ones, like a regular restaurant. It's all farm to table, but they mean it, like they're near farms. It's not like they don't say farm to table because, you know, the tables are unfinished pine, but it's still the same bullshit you get everywhere else. This is like one of those places where like the menu changes a bunch. So I had like bougie fried chicken, which was great, but then at the same time I was like, I paid $20 for a thigh and a drumstick and like some, you know, like fancy like parsnips or whatever the fuck came with it, and like a really good, a nice greens salad. But I was like, at Popeyes, $20.
Popeyes is good, dude.
Popeyes, $20. I'm king.
You probably feel a little better after this fried chicken than you do Popeyes.
It's true. It came with a nice salad. There was a, you know, just a little bit of potato.
Popeyes for me is
the best fried chicken. The best fried chicken. The best fast food, hands down. Bang for your buck, where you want to actually like enjoy it, feel like you're having a meal like a real human being. You spend $20 at Popeyes, you feel like, okay, this is almost what a regular person eats. You spend $20 at fucking McDonald's, you should fucking you should get the note.
And I don't mean that as in like in a shameful way. I mean, put yourself out of your misery, because you probably got an apple pie if you spend $20. That's horrible.
Oh yeah,
dude. We were watching some horror. We watched you know what we rewatched last night that holds up so beautifully?
Hit me with it.
Scream, dude. The first one.
I watched Scream a couple months ago.
It's fun.
Actually. It's fun. You know what's funny? I watched Scary Movie yesterday. I watched that.
Well, it's funny because Scream is already kind of like a parody, and then Scary Movie is like it's a parody on crack. It's so funny though, dude.
It's so fucking funny. You watch that and you're like, gee, you couldn't make any of the jokes in the it's like Officer Doofy is just, the joke is he's a guy pretending to be massively retarded. Like just doing like blackface but for the mentally handicapped is what Officer Doofy is. And then it's like Shawn Wayne's character, the only thing about him is that he's gay. And it's like every single line he says is like trying to do something gay. It's so fucking awesome.
Oh, that movie is ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. And Shannon Elizabeth went just into her prime.
Yeah.
When it was
coming off American Pie, where
every male from like 11 to 17 beat off that summer, was like just beating off to her. From like, if you could jack off.
Weird? It's weird to be that person.
Yeah.
Where like 11-year-old sees one on the street. Can I have a picture? She's like, all right.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, every man she meets for the rest of her life will have, like, there's a window of men that she'll meet that have all jacked off. I bet you she meets more men that jacked off to her that didn't jack off to her. You know what I mean? Like,
well, there was, I mean, she had a window, dude, because she was in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back as well.
Of course.
There was a window for sure.
Things were good. Yeah. So, but it must be that's interesting. I never thought about that. The sheer numbers. But yeah, dude, I've been in this cabin, just fucking got a pork shoulder going. Really, listen,
Ooh.
the people that are like, all right, I like this podcast, but it's too much Knicks talk. You are going to be real sad because I have no energy in my body to oppose Sam, and it's good. He's going to get to run the whole.
Let me tell you. First off, you may have noticed from the Pod Don't Lie account on Friday or Thursday.
I did notice that, and I'd love to discuss that.
Someone said I guarantee that the Knicks will beat the Bulls. And you better believe I got nervous about that guarantee in the last couple minutes. Because here's what happened. I was in Denver. I'm watching the game. I'm watching the fourth quarter. I'm watching most of the game on my computer. I'm watching the fourth quarter on my phone because I'm in the green room. And normally I bring my laptop, but I was lazy. My boy Gary Veter's on stage. I am freaking out because I'm like, Gary, he might jump off and I missed the end of this.
Yeah.
I'm on a delay. The Knicks give up a 13-point. I mean, that was insane.
It was insane. And let's just say real fast, the Knicks, the hard dick Knicks, 5-1. Looking to get our 6th victory coming up. Which is it, the Pelicans or who's?
No, we got the Raptors. We beat the Pelicans.
We just beat the Pelicans.
RJ had a career night against the Pelicans.
Yes,
he looked incredible.
Yes. That's how fucking stoned I've been. How many of these Massachusetts edibles I've been on. When I said the Pelicans, I was like, I remember I watched that game, and I was like, yeah, we probably played the Pelicans. I seem to remember that.
Well, that was a banger, man. And then we got, I'm fired up about this. Well, so first off, the game
Let's talk about that game. Let's talk about that. That was an insane game against the Bulls. Going in there, first good team the Bulls have faced, by the way.
But what worries me about they beat the Jazz the other night too.
Right. That's a big fucking comeback win for them because you could argue that the Bulls. I mean, the Knicks completely outclassed them for most of the game. But there is something.
But we have the same problem the Jazz have and it's closing games.
Yeah, it's
the Jazz are a great offense until it's like time to take over.
Right, and Donovan Mitchell's, for as good as he is, is he too small? Can he do that? Can he really do that? If you're a guy who's 6'1" and you're not like a 40% 3-point shooter and an insane passer, I mean, the only guys we see that get to do that are obviously Steph Curry, the blueprint for that, and the little dick villain, Trae Young.
Who, as you said, I hate to say it, a great passer and shooter.
Great passer and a great shooter, yeah.
But he ain't getting those calls this year, and neither is James Harden.
Yeah, that's true.
But, the Knicks just can't really close right now. I mean, thank God Kemba's hit some big shots for us lately.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking like a pretty damn good signing right now.
Yeah, and it's early still, and he's coming back from injury, so you hope a guy like that only continues to find his form as the season goes on.
But Julius missing 2 free throws hurt because there have been questions about the clutchness, and look, I believe in him. I do think he'll put it together, but you just want to see him make those shots.
I will say, watching that, it's like you feel for him, and it's like I will say this. I mean, watching Giannis and being a fan of Giannis, I remember and seeing him miss all these free throws and seeing him as a fan, it's like I felt like, come on, get in. But I never worried about Giannis's psyche because he just seemed to be the guy that would just, even if he fails, he doesn't give a fuck. He's going out there. He's doing what needs to be done. Watching Julius take those, I felt like a mom watching her kid and it's like this could really asking a girl out for the first time, and it's like, here we go. Either he has a normal life or he'll go into comedy. You know what I mean? It's like you're just nervous because you could see when I watch Julius in the clutch, it's like I feel like he needs it. You know what I mean? I'm really rooting for him because I want him to establish his clutch bona fides, because I think that's the one area where he doesn't have the confidence, or maybe he doesn't even believe that he's the level of player that he is. Well, that's what I'm saying.
He will, because the thing is,
I'm just saying it's scary.
It's scary, but here's where I'm not scared. No one can question his mental toughness after what he's been through in New York, after that first terrible season. He came back from that. And if you have that mental toughness, I believe you can perform in the clutch. I do believe in him, absolutely. But I will say this about the Knicks, and it's kind of like it's a compliment, but also a critique. Mm-hmm. You watch this team, and like everyone on the floor can kind of pass. Everyone's a kind of like, we didn't have this last year. We have a lot of, like, even Fournier can kind of create. Fournier's a great shooter.
He can definitely create his own shot for sure.
But he's also made some flashy passes. Kemba can obviously pass. Rose can obviously pass. RJ's a good passer. I mean,
solid. Yeah.
Julius is a great passer. And then at a certain point, you're like, okay, but we need someone to like take the big nut shot. Exactly. We need someone to take, like, that is the problem. Like, weirdly, the Bulls don't have that problem. LaVine loves difficult shots. DeRozan loves a difficult mix.
Yeah.
Although DeRozan couldn't make that over fucking, I think, a potential All-NBA defender this year.
RJ Island, baby. RJ Island.
D has been amazing, dude.
Yeah, RJ Island. You know how you coined the King Julius, and you'll always believe that you did that? I'm just gonna go. I'm throwing my hat. Listen, if RJ,
I started King Julius.
If RJ Island,
I started that shit, dude.
If RJ Island is out there, just remember who was saying RJ Island as of last week. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Because I think those motherfuckers are out there. Because DeRozan was on RJ Island. DeRozan was on RJ Island in a major way in that last possession.
I call him Prince Rowe.
That's right. Yeah. He didn't fucking bite on the pump fake. He didn't fucking. He was beautiful. It was great.
But you still hate that it's that close when we're up by that much.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I know that you believe in Julius, but that is the final hurdle, right? Like the final hurdle to super duper stardom. We've seen guys flirt with even all NBA selections and not get there, and that is I am a little scared. That's all I'm saying. I'm a little scared.
We all know that we need another. Part of me is like, we need another guy. And the other part of me is like, this team is so deep. If we just figure out a way to close, dude, we're a fucking contender. Like, we're that deep.
But that's the hard. But again, that's the hardest leap to make. The leap from pretty good to fucking teams that step on your neck when it needs to happen. It's a hard fucking leap. I mean, dude, I just watched and by the way, the Lakers stink. I'm up here in the cabin.
They're bad.
My boy Adam Friedland, who's been on the show, if you missed the Patreon this summer, Adam subbed in for Sam. We had a nice discussion about the Lakers. I've been watching a lot. I've basically seen every Lakers game up here. I basically watched Lakers, Knicks, and then I would flip around. Like I watched a couple random. I watched a little bit of the Kings. And
watch a little Nuggets, watch a little Mavs.
Just flipping around, but nothing crazy. Yeah. But I watched a lot of Lakers and a lot of Knicks. And watching the Lakers full games against, I watched them lose to the fucking Cavs.
Yeah.
Or almost lose. I'm sorry. They should have lost to the fucking Cavs. And they lost, and they did lose to the fucking Thunder.
And they were also celebrating. It's like, you can't be that happy beating the Cavs.
That night, they come back, and again, the Cavs, that's what I was kind of saying, where it's like, they were playing well, but it's like, you're not going to close against. And Melo's been fucking playing out of his mind. They're not going to get this kind of offense from Melo constantly. And it's taken Melo, like, shooting out of his mind and having to play the Cavs and the fucking... Like, I was watching last night against the Rockets. They've whooped the Rockets' ass, but it's like, it's the Rockets, bro. What are you fucking celebrating for? It was kind of embarrassing. And I am worried about...
They're getting a lot, but also you're like, you know what? At the same time, they've got the stars, so they're 4-3. If they just stay in the playoff hunt and they add someone from the buyout, they could still be very dangerous in the playoffs because you've got LeBron, AD, and like maybe this is what I hear people saying. You got to bring Westbrook off the bench, but it's like really you don't.
Never happen.
It'll never happen. Just play him with the second unit.
Play him with the second unit more.
Start him and play with
that doesn't solve the ultimate issue when you say that. That means you don't want Westbrook. That means the best lineup with LeBron doesn't include Westbrook, and that doesn't solve your problem in crunch time, right? Because it's like if you play your best basketball with with Westbrook never on the floor with LeBron, well then what happens at crunch time? There's no way Russell Westbrook doesn't want to be on close games.
It's just a weird thing where you're like Westbrook is your side girl and LeBron is your wife.
Yeah,
and you're like you guys can't meet each other. It's like. Well, but you really need them to meet each other at some point.
Yeah.
That's the analogy doesn't work, but you get what I mean, right?
No, Sam is coming out as polyamorous, everyone.
Yes,
by the way.
That's what it is.
He's like, I'm tired of living a lie. I have 2 girlfriends, and I need them to meet, because juggling them, like, my life is a 90s sitcom where I'm on one date at the movie theater and one date at the Italian bistro around the corner, and I keep pretending I'm at the bathroom and running and changing my clothes.
That was a real trope in the 90s.
That was in every sitcom. Someone went on a date like that.
Every time. Because you know the writers were out of ideas, and they're like, we haven't done the double date thing yet.
Double date.
Like, fucking Fresh Prince, let's do this.
Dial it up, brother. I'm about to hit the links. Dude, I agree with you. They can't.
You didn't even bring up the Knicks Pelicans, which, you know, I know they're not a good team. The Pelicans are dog shit, but RJ still went the fuck off.
Really nice.
And that was closing. That's what we need. Like, if we just get like, see, we don't have that like guy we don't have a guy who's like making Kobe like shots. Like when Julius takes those fadeaways, I'm kind of like, shit. Like I know he can shoot jumpers, but like I do get a little, you know, like ugh. But when we're just playing within our offense in the final, like we have a bunch of guys who can shoot. We have Fournier, we have Randall, we have RJ's creation, that like underpass to Mitchell Robinson at the end of the game. You're like, God, to hit a couple fat nut threes.
Yeah.
We need that.
Yeah, I mean, but again, that's traditionally when all this shit like stiffens up, right? An offense never. It's like that's why at the end of the day, and until the Warriors kind of like disproved this, the belief held on that it's like a jump shooting team is not gonna win the fucking title, because at the end of the day, when it really comes down to it, you need defense and you need one-on-one shot creation, getting to the bucket shit, and obviously that's not necessarily the case, but you just do need some of it. Like it just is easier. Like you can do it a different way, but the way you do that is if you're the fucking Warriors and you have at minimum 2 of the best shooters of all time, and if you're really lucky, 3 of the best shooters of all time. So it's not like that's a blueprint, and it's not like the Knicks have that anyway. And so we just do need that kind of traditional alpha fucking, you know, scorer that just puts the fucking team on his back. That would be nice because it does feel like we have everything else in place. But again, that's the rub of this kind of team building. It is theoretically easier to get to this level than it is to get to true championship contender.
Well, we'll see what the rest of the year holds, because I don't think we're done making moves. I think we've got a lot of weapons. I think the combo of Rose and Kemba might be as good as having a star, you know, point guard, because you got Rose's fresh legs.
Defensively, that's really tough, and Rose has looked better, but I wouldn't call at his point in his career, you know, just keeping him fresh because he's not playing that much. I wouldn't see that as an attribute. I would just see that as a non-negative. You know what I mean?
Wow. You know what the crazy part about the Bulls game was? I was on a delay because I was watching on my phone, so I was like a 30-second delay. And you text me like, we just pulled that one out from the skin of our teeth. I was like, thank God, but I still had to watch it.
Yeah.
Right as I saw the air ball, my boy Gary Vita goes, "Are you guys ready for Sam Morril?" I'm like, "Oh, thank God."
Oh, that's incredible.
Thank God I caught the end, but I said to him, I'm like, "We won by a point," and he was like, "Oh."
Dude, it was brutal to watch. It was almost the kind of thing where the game was the level you could just turn it off. Like it felt like, all right, this one's over. And then you just kind of look.
I posted that fucking tweet, like, what did I say, basically, like, about the prediction when they were still up 13 with 3 minutes left. I figured we were safe. I'm like, oh my God, if we blow this, I'm going to feel dumb as shit.
The double down. I didn't realize you doubled down before it was even over.
I doubled down. I said, yeah, when you know, is what I wrote.
I thought you wrote that as a tongue-in-cheek after the fact. But no.
No. I wrote that with like 3 minutes left.
Oh, you would have looked like such a fucking asshole. I love that.
I feel dumb as shit.
Well, that was a nice win for sure. And you're right, Kemba has looked pretty good recently.
The shooting is what's been missing last year. The Knicks are a complete team. Like, let's just see. Like, maybe we're not done making moves, man.
I love it. And you made some other pronouncements on the Twitter. Do you care to share those?
Well,
because I would like to publicly
about RJ and Zion.
I would like to publicly wash my hands of this one.
Okay, well, here's the thing. You got to play to be.
What did you say for the people first before you start defending?
I said that RJ will have a better NBA career than Zion Williamson.
Yeah, there.
And did you hear what Walt Frazier said when they hugged after the game, RJ and Zion?
Yeah, he needs to lose weight. Obviously,
he's like, he's Zion looking very chunky.
Yeah,
he needs to work on that.
Yeah. Just straight up be like, he is getting fat as shit. And there's Zion.
Walt does not. He does not have a filter at this point, and it's like really. I just love hearing them.
There's
Yeah.
Zion. You can see his breasts from here. He's got a real looking like a solid B cup, folks. Isn't that? I hope RJ doesn't get hard when they hug because he's mistaken
Chunky
them
and
for
funky
a
Zion.
yeah. Zion slicing and dicing another piece of steak.
If you read,
tartare.
I mean, dude, this is Zion's health. I mean, we've talked about the way he walks, and I obviously don't wish him anything but success in his career. But you know, it is worrisome, and you see how big he's getting. You're like, you don't want this shit to be a problem. Like, yeah, you know, this is when his metabolism is at his best. Like, think about Zion at like 32.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Just
gets
thinking about
tougher.
Stavros Halkias at 32, I can just say that it will not be nice. It will not be pretty, even if he's only got a quarter of what we're dealing with here.
RJ Barrett is looking like a young Jimmy Butler to me. Like,
I love it.
The fact that he's a two-way guy, the fact that he makes winning plays, he really is. He's a team guy. Like, I'm grateful we have RJ for sure.
Yeah, and
he
I mean,
plays
listen,
the right way.
it's just crazy. Like you're out of your fucking mind to say that though, because there's no way he has a better career unless Zion gets hurt. Unless we're talking with career.
We'll see.
career-ending
RJ keeps
injuries.
getting better, brother.
Zion at 20, already an all-star, had the best shooting percentage from the fucking. He shot like over 60%.
What did he shoot from three?
Who gives a fuck? I mean, that's when it starts. He shot 30% last year.
Yeah, what did RJ shoot?
He shot what, 41 at the end of the season?
Brother?
Okay, we're talking that 27 points on 60.
I think RJ
on
will keep-
62% shooting.
I think RJ will keep getting better. I worry about Zion's improvement.
I mean, at a certain point, will RJ ever have as good a season as Zion had in the 61 games he played last year?
Does RJ not remind you of Jimmy Butler?
I'm just saying, you're out of your fucking mind here saying that a guy who's already been
With
the
a
best,
better jump shot. I think that three-point shot is a problem.
Okay, listen, man. I'm just saying Zion
Also,
was the
similarities.
best.
Jimmy came up under Tibbs. There's a lot of similarities here, dude.
Dude, okay. So you're saying, does RJ remind you of the one player who completely improved in a way almost no other players do? And Zion, yeah, he might already shot almost 70% from the field and had 27 points. I'm sorry, no, 62% from the field. And 27
wonderful
points.
season for Zion. My hat goes off to him,
But
and I
you're
hope he
saying
can. I worry about his health.
Of course.
because of his. You know, it's going to be hard with someone with his frame to stay healthy. He is an athletic freak. I mean, it doesn't make
Yeah.
a lot of sense. When you see him jump, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
I'm with you. I'm just saying he's there. RJ would be lucky to ever, scoring wise at least, get to the level that Zion was
But
in his first
we
full
don't
season.
need him to be that type of scorer because we have a balanced offense. The Pelicans are a fucking dog shit team. They're just not good.
I agree with you, man. I'm just saying listen, folks. Sam Morrill's the one who makes that pronouncement, not Stavros Halkias. I'm not ready to
Brother,
give up on Zion, especially
Let the haters come for me.
Especially as he keeps getting fatter. I feel like I have to for the community. He's the closest we have to a very fat man playing basketball.
Walt calling him fat at the end of the game
That was really funny. That was a funny clip.
Walt is the best. Walt and Breen, man, it don't get better. I've said it 100
don't get
times.
no
but-
better. Did you see the new uniforms?
The
City edition?
Halloween ones?
Love the Halloween ones. The Knicks
Dude,
jerseys,
black and
the Knicks
orange
jerseys are
is
fucking
dope.
sweet.
They're doing a great job. I love the ones they did on opening night too, the throwbacks. I mean,
Those were fucking cool.
hard. We kind of don't have loud jerseys, and I like that. Like, I hate when teams go too loud, like those Mavs ones that were like graffiti. Awful.
Horrible. The only other good ones, honestly, I like the Atlanta ones. Did you see them? And then the other ones are just kind of like
I like the old. I like the Steve Smith era Atlanta ones.
these
You
are
know,
the
ones I'm
yellow
talking
ones with the
about?
hawk in the middle. They're fucking sick. But one thing
The
I
new
don't
ones?
like, they just released all the city
Oh,
edition
those
ones.
are cool. I just saw those. Yeah,
Those are fucking sick.
But those are. I like the red version of this a little better. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah,
with the hawk on it. That was like the Steve Smith, Dikembe Mutombo era.
For sure.
Mookie Blaylock.
Of course, dude. But yeah, other than that, I feel like they just kind of they just did half throwbacks and I just go for a full throwback. Like the Clippers one is sick. That's the era that I was a Clippers-ish fan just because they had all the young guys where they have the like baby blue with the fucking red and white. script.
The baby blue is cool, yeah, but they're not. It's
but some
not
of
a full
these, some
one.
of these other ones are.
I kind of like the red
shit.
version of that better with the.
No, I like the
script.
baby blue. But in the Houston one, it's like just throw it back. They just did the rocket, but not fully. The like pinstripe ones, the Stevie Francis ones, but halfway.
Sure.
And then the Lakers did blue and purple. That stinks. That one fucking sucks.
Yeah, the Rockets one is a fun era. That was like right after. I mean, the Sonics had a really fun one that era. You know the one I'm talking about. I mean, those were a lot of badass jerseys. I mean,
nice
H-Town sucks. I prefer the actual Rocket. H-Town is fucking dumb.
No, the one they're doing is Houston, not the H-Town one. It's the Houston one, and it's the pinstripes, but they don't have. It just looks a little.
No,
off.
it's the Rocket logo. It says Rockets, right?
I don't know, man. I'm looking at all of them together.
Oh, okay.
But either way, whatever. We should talk about some other teams before. Yeah. I'm looking at the close up. It's just a little off. I don't get it. Yeah. What other teams have you been watching? Looking around, what other teams have kind of made an impression on you, good or bad, one way or the other?
Obviously, I hate to give it to. I mean, the Warriors lost one, but I still think they're very good. I mean,
and Jordan Poole playing like doo-doo, by the way.
Yeah, but look, they're playing pretty easy teams, but they're fucking rolling, man. I mean, I guess they lost to the Grizz, but that was in overtime. I mean, yeah, they played the Thunder twice. Those are gimmies. I guess they're not great games, but and I believe Jordan Poole will be good. It's just you need Clay back at that point. Mavs are kind of what I thought they'd be. 4-2 though. I mean, Luka's just great. It's weird to watch them. I was watching the Mavs versus Nuggets the other night. The Nuggets kind of assaulted them physically.
Yeah.
I mean, the Nuggets, if they have Murray, are just ridiculous. Like, you realize like how close they are to being just.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're kind of if they have Murray, are they better? They're probably better than Brooklyn, don't you think?
I think if they have Murray, they're literally the favorite.
I think they're the. It's crazy that they really did it through the draft. Like props to them.
Yeah, well, they got lucky. I mean, they did it through the draft in the terms of their second round pick became an MVP, and they could trade.
But that's the draft, though, dude.
You're right, and they could trade their Nurkic for stuff because Nurkic was supposed to be their, center of the future or whatever.
But Porter was a risk, and it looks like he's looking pretty good.
Looks like the Clippers should have definitely got drafted Porter for sure.
Well, the Knicks passed on him too.
Yeah, but again, we've been over this. The Clippers could have had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Michael Porter Jr. back to back. Insane. Imagine that.
Porter's shooting like dog shit from three this season.
Actually, that's the other thing. The Nuggets have looked good, and Porter actually has not lived up to any of the hype.
I think hopefully he figures it out. But I mean, he is shooting from three. Is like 20. Let me look it up. 25% is what. Yeah,
he's looked kind of dog shit in general.
Yeah.
But the Jazz are 5-1. That's so surprising. I have not watched a single Jazz game except the only
they lost to Chicago.
That's the only impressive win.
They beat your fucking baby Bucks.
They did. The Bucks are looking. I will say this about the Bucks and the Nets: they're looking like for different reasons. Like they're just kind of like still warming up to the to the season starting.
Well, I think last year was the year that Giannis was like, "Let's save it."
I think the Bucks have a lot of injuries. They have a lot. They've had people been in and out. I mean, you had fucking. I love Thanasi, but he was starting a couple games. Like we're not,
Yeah.
The Bucks aren't ready to go, and the Nets, for as much as everyone wants to like worry about,
they're out of the Bucks are the 10th seed right now.
Okay, Sam, you want to fucking?
I mean, look, I'm just saying
the fucking stupid smile on your face. The Knicks are tied for first, and the Bucks are the 10th seed. I'm sure it'll end very close to that.
Well, look, the Knicks are a legit deep team. They're winning a lot of games.
Yeah. So would you say that it's going to be?
You got the Knicks Bucks November 5th, dude.
November 5th?
Yeah.
Where?
It's in Milwaukee.
Ah,
yeah.
Fuck. I thought for a second I bought tickets to the wrong game.
No,
because I'm going to Knicks Bucks in at MSG.
Did you push the Showtime?
I haven't done any of that.
You got to figure that out.
I do.
You got to figure it out.
I'm gonna end up just seeing the first half and wanting to kill myself. Dude, it's so funny. Once you start fucking getting high every day again, you're like, oh yeah, I have no ambition to do anything. I get an email and it feels so insurmountable, like having to answer one email, and I'm like, I can't. I have to.
That's not.
I have to warm up pizza.
It's not a good drug right there.
I have to order pizza. I have to warm up pizza, and have a couple spoonfuls of vanilla ice cream after the slice, because every single meal, even if it's a snack, has to have dessert. That's when you know you're getting high all the time. And then I have to watch Showdown in Little Tokyo starring Dolph Lundgren.
Never heard of it.
Dude, it's insane. It's Dolph Lundgren and it's fucking Brandon Lee. I think it was the second to last movie he did before The Crow. And every main character is like Asian or of some kind of Asian descent. And basically it's Dolph Lundgren is the expert on Japan. So it's like all these Asian people, basically Dolph Lundgren teaching Japanese people about Japan. And he's just like, and the way he gets he gets the bad guy's got him with a gun at the end. And he's like, do it. I knew you were dishonorable. He's like, if you were a real man, you would fight me to death. He invokes like the samurai code on the Japanese yakuza, and they agree to fight each other in single combat. And Dolph beats him in a samurai sword fight. It's fucking incredible, dude.
Oh, dude, we're watching Succession last night. So fucking good. Are you still on that shit or no?
I am. I'm rewatching some of it.
It's gets better and better, brother.
It is. It's an insanely good show.
The guy who wrote one of my other favorite shows. You ever seen Peep Show?
No, get the fuck out of here. The guy who wrote Succession wrote Peep Show?
Yeah, dude.
What? Are you serious?
Jesse Armstrong, man.
Dude, that makes so much sense because there is that... Dude, that guy is the master of making you feel uncomfortable in any way.
Incredible.
Because I feel like even when I watch Succession, it feels like I'm squirming half the time because you feel what like fucking, bitch ass Kendall is feeling when he's trying to make a move.
You smoke a lot of weed for a show like that.
It's too much. I can't do it right now, man. Yeah, I need to be watching.
I get that.
And you know what? I was sober before The Cabin, but The Cabin takes everything in your life. That's the thing. You get done recording your podcast for 2 months, but the cost is high. It's a high cost.
I can see it in your eyes, brother. But I will say, man, that show, I don't think I could do it high. I get it now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because right now I'm in I'm watching goofy bullshit. That's the mode I'm in right
I was
now.
making it's Taylor's birthday week, so I'm like, whatever you want to eat this week,
Oh, yeah.
So I'm making her I make pasta that she really likes. So I'm making her pasta, but while I'm making it, I'm just watching Lethal Weapon.
Yeah,
I'm watching, and I'm like, man, I forgot how dumb as shit this is. Literally made. It opens with. I forgot this. It opens with a woman killing herself, but she's naked and she's got giant big tits. This makes no sense.
Why is it always a big titty prostitute that kills herself? A big titty high class call girl is the one who kills
80s
herself.
action where it's this will get the morons in the seats excited.
And you know what? I love that. I need me I can't wait to make a movie like that, man. I guarantee you I will. I'm going to use my own money to make a movie that there's tits in every. When we're filming, when I'm writing the script, I'm going to put a buzzer, and every 45 minutes of writing, I'm like, well, that's the right. Jam in some breasts, buzzer, and it's just every 3 scenes will have tits for no reason.
There's dude, they did that Always Sunny in Philadelphia spoof on it where Mac is in blackface. You can't find that shit online. They pulled it from Hulu.
They pulled it for sure.
They're making fun of how dumb it is, and they're like, still, you gotta.
They're like, listen, we just look. The show somehow has stayed on for 20 years. We're not risking it, all right? They pulled it on 30 Rock that one at least was making fun of it, but 30 Rock was straight up, Jenna was in blackface. Do you remember that episode?
A little bit.
And it's just
dude, Jimmy Kimmel as Karl Malone. We've talked about it, but it's crazy.
It's
you're
fucking
this
insane.
This is fucking weird.
It is totally weird. Yeah,
it looks weird now.
And it's Karl, and the Chris Rock, the fucking Jimmy Fallon, Chris Rock is brutal. I feel like they made him a shade darker.
It was a lot.
I think they gave him a nose. Like they gave him, it's like, oh guys, you got once the prosthetic team gets involved, then then we're getting a little too fucking.
And look, we're not gonna lie, Fallon does a pretty good Chris Rock.
It's but just do it.
But you can't.
Don't paint up for it. You know what I'm saying?
Adrian Appalucci's got a great joke on it about how the statute of limitations on blackface shouldn't be longer than rape. Like if she was getting raped, if she was getting raped by a guy in blackface, she wouldn't open with the blackface.
Oh, that's so fucking damn.
Yeah,
that's a great joke. Adrian nailed it. She's really funny.
She's so good, dude.
Yeah, go check out Adrian Appalucci, folks. Anyway, the other team that it's like we got to suck off here is the fucking Hornets. That's the team that I wanted to.
And it breaks my heart because we got that first round draft pick. I'm really hoping shit falls apart for them. But you know what? You got to give credit to. Bro. Miles Bridges is he's probably going to be most improved player at this rate because he really was just like a dunker last year. But he is doing a lot. He's kind of becoming the glue guy on that team.
It's awesome to see because he's the kind of guy who him and LaMelo. Their fucking chemistry is so. Sorry, just gotta. I don't think the mic picked it up, so we'll say I didn't have to let out 3 giant farts.
I didn't hear it.
Some of the local Four Brothers Pizza here in.
You would have gotten away with that one, dude. You didn't have to tell me.
Well, it's all about fucking transparency here on this podcast, folks. Him and LaMelo. Just from a on the fast break seemed like a beautiful pairing, but it's so great to see this guy and realize LaMelo. I mean, I think when you play with these guys, you can kind of see the future of this guy is the real fucking deal, and I am going to be right there with him. I am going to keep upping my game. I am going to tailor my shit and. He's been doing a lot of stuff, man. He's been really been useful on offense for them. He shows that effort where he's after he gets dunked on, he's and I'll fucking do it every time the game is on the line. I don't give a fuck. He's just...
He is, but Miles Bridges is going to get paid. He turned down $60 million 4 years. He's going to get 100 probably.
That's the thing. He once the guy who I thought was his brother. I swear, I thought
same draft.
I thought the Bridges boys.
By the way,
I thought they were fraternal twins.
The amount of guys the Knicks passed on in this draft, we took Kevin Knox ahead of both of the Bridges and Michael Porter Jr. It hurts a little bit. Brutal,
because you would have just picked that was gonna be one of the other guys you picked. It was gonna be one of
Gilgeous Alexander.
Oh, tough.
Who might be better than any of them? You could argue right now.
Yeah, for sure. Even though those wings get a lot of attention because they're just the most rare skill set. Even to creators like Shea, I would say, although I love Shea, I would love if he would be beautiful on the Knicks. But he's looked so fucking good and I mean they've had fucking speaking of Knicks that probably shouldn't have been drafted where they were. I was watching that Mavs game and I saw Frankie hit a 3. It's the most I've smiled in weeks, poor guy. I bet you that was the only 3. I'm going to look up the box score. I bet you that was the only 3 he hit.
He's 2 for 2 from 3, actually. He's actually hit. He actually was hitting the threes for us last year. He was just playing too scared. His defense is always great. He looks like a deer in headlights still offensively. I'm rooting for him. I really like that kid. Of course.
We love Frankie around here.
Yeah.
The Hornets are fucking just looking very, very good. And obviously,
I really hope they start sucking. I fucking hate them, dude.
And two teams that we disrespected, I will have to say the Raptors, I don't believe in them ultimately, but that's the thing about just being a good organization with a good coach. Even if your team is dog shit, it's they show up and they have real fight. And they've been in most of these games and they
lost Lowry too, who was kind of their leader, you know?
And dude, Scotty this draft, I mean, Cade made his debut and he wasn't playing particularly well in his first game, but he had a lot of hustle plays and he was he did the traditional thing that you want when your shot's not falling, which is make yourself known in other ways. But, no highlights really, no crazy.
But he's going to be a star.
But yeah, we have to assume that he is going to pan out at least. It feels safe, although, never say never with my man from fucking Philly, Markelle.
He's not doing back to. Yeah, but this is a different situation. This guy's 6'8". I mean,
Of course, it's a completely different
and
situation.
he looked incredible in summer league. And
I'm just saying, I'm just saying,
worried.
Jalen Green looks fucking incredible, and then fucking 3 and 4 look just as good. And in Mobley's case, you could say he might. If that guy, I mean, if he becomes Giannis or AD, if that's the kind of player we're talking about, he's better than Green and fucking Cade Cunningham. You'd think like that new version of the center, which is what we're basically realizing is like as the game evolves, it's like you're a 5 that. I mean, Giannis can't shoot threes, but a 5 that can shoot threes and defend the rim and is athletic, that's the fucking cheat code.
The problem is, though, well, first off, you have Jared Allen on that team, so he's not going to play center. But then you have these guys who are like, yeah, if Anthony Davis wants to play center, that's how you won a ring. Like no one can go on the perimeter with him, and he's athletic and a great defender. But look, guess what? These stars don't want to play center.
Yeah, but he's played. I will say, Mobley's played like. He's played fucking center. He's played with Jared Allen. It looks pretty good. And if you have those two guys playing defense, like that's fucking sick. I mean, the Cavs, like I said, I watched the Cavs-Lakers game. If the Cavs weren't so young and inexperienced, they would have beat the Lakers. It was just like LeBron is not losing to the fucking Cavs. You know what I mean? Like they lost to the Thunder, but he wasn't playing. But
who you haven't given props to yet? Who we have to give props to?
I think the same
the Washington
team,
Wizards,
which we didn't even bring up.
Shouts out to a friend of the pod, Jamel Johnson.
Shout out to Jamel.
This is shocking to me. I did not expect this, but then you look at it and you're kind of like, man, these Lakers spare parts, mixed with losing Westbrook, mixed with Kuzma looking good, mixed with the signing of Dinwiddie, who really is.
Dinwiddie's got the fat nuts right now for sure. For sure, who we love. We've been fans of Dinwiddie for
and it's real love because of how much he trolled the Knicks. I mean, he really was a troll. But no, he's a terrific player, man. He really is balling out. Beal really is incredible. Like it must do wonders for the culture for the guy to be like, I want to win here. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, and you're right in terms of like the reason we skipped over the Wizards in like a thing is because like they weren't even. I didn't even see them as that terrible, but it was they just felt kind of boring to me. That it felt like, yeah, you're right, spare parts and like there's no what is the real vision? But you know what the vision is? The vision is like turning Russell Westbrook's poison contract and weird gameplay style that almost never works, turning that into a team that's just like gonna be contending for the play-in for sure. I mean, I don't believe the 5-1. Necessarily.
No, me neither. But Kuzma had 17 boards last game. That's amazing.
Kuzma's turned himself into a fucking crazy. He's Kuzma Rodman right now, dude. He's Kyle Rodman right now.
You're looking at the Lakers, man, they really could have used all the parts they traded for Westbrook.
Yeah, we won't. We don't have to continue.
They hit the panic button though, and they didn't need to.
They absolutely didn't need to, and I mean, look, to give the Lakers a little bit of credit, a tiny teensy bit of credit, they're starting fucking Chance the Rapper's body double right now at fucking. They're starting
Malik Monk.
No. Fucking what's his face? Fuck. He used to play for the Warriors. He used to play for the Hawks.
Bazemore.
They're starting Kent Bazemore, and Bazemore's the kind of guy that if he's at the end of your bench, you're like, hey, that's not bad. We got Kent Bazemore to be the fucking ninth guy. Fine. But Bazemore's starting. So if Kendrick Nunn comes back and he looks okay and he gets to start, that's a little something. If THT comes back and he can fucking take up one of those spots, it's just...
I've been listening to you fucking Laker fans talk up Taylor Horton Tucker for years now. Let's see.
The reason you didn't trade for Kyle Lowry, you wanted to keep him. And the guy you chose over Alex Caruso. So there's a lot of... And he's hurt.
Well, Caruso is looking great.
Yeah. And Chicago...
Caruso's hitting jumpers. He's making incredible flashy passes. He's a defender. I mean...
Perfect.
It became like a meme and a joke, but the dude can play.
Well, yeah, it's like when you have Caruso and Lonzo at the like guard positions, it's almost like the inverse of having Jared Allen and Mobley back there, where it's like you have two tenacious defenders at the point of attack where the ball starts. Hopefully, you can cut some of that shit off. You know, like we discussed this on the last episode, where it's like the fucking Bulls. we will find out what they're made of in the next month. Like,
they have a tough schedule.
And
but
you know what? Give them credit because we were whooping their fucking ass on Joakim Noah night, and they did what good teams do, and they didn't die. They made you beat them, and we got to be honest. The Knicks deserved to win that game overall. They played they were the better team, but in the closing moments, they were playing scared, and the Bulls were not playing scared.
100%, and
you have to give the Bulls. You have to give the Bulls. You have to give the Bulls credit for that.
New York and Chicago, the rivalry is alive.
And then for them to come back and lose one, I won't even say get punched in the mouth, but like hit a counter that almost knocked them out, and then they come back and beat the fucking Jazz, who have some of the most continuity, seem like the fucking just like should be either the best or one of the best teams.
As I said, the Jazz in the fourth quarter, that's where they worry me. Like quarters 1 through 3, they move the ball beautifully, but when the game slows down and you need like one guy to create, yeah, sometimes Donovan Mitchell's that guy, but I don't know.
I'm just saying, I'm just trying to give the Bulls some props, suck their little fucking red nuts, and say that it's an impressive win to come back after losing. And they have the Celtics tonight. I mean, they could be 6-1. We could be 6-1. We have the Raptors tonight.
I'm weirdly kind of rooting for the Celtics to just take one from the Bulls to slow their ass down.
Fuck them. Fuck the Celtics. Celtics 2-4. They're mid. They're butt cheeks.
I think the Celtics take this one.
All right. Listen, that's what you get for making a choice out of hate. Oh, and also the Grizzlies, where Ja Morant has, for the last month, the month of October, averaged the most points in the paint. Insanity.
Yeah. Well, his finishing at the rim is like... Yeah.
A 6'3" guy who's 170 has the more points in the paint than fucking, Giannis and Bam.
He's Westbrook in Kyrie's frame.
He's awesome, dude. I fucking love that guy.
No, he's a beast.
But yeah, dude, I don't know. In general, it's just like I'm really thoroughly enjoying watching. Like every game that's on, I'm interested in something. We haven't gotten to the point. Even the Kings, dude. The Kings had that fucking. They came back and beat the Suns on a Harrison Barnes fucking last minute 3.
That was a great shot. Yeah.
There's a lot of teams I'm interested in, and you know what? We have, again, credit to Washington. They seem solid. Beal hasn't even been that good, and Trez is not. Trez sucked dick on the Lakers, but when he's just on a team where the job is to just rack up like some fucking points and be the
like Mo Spates for the Warriors back in the day, right?
Yeah, better. Yeah, like just even like he can get back to those 6-man numbers, and it's like when you're the Wizards, that's cute. When you're the Lakers and you need somebody to play with AD, it doesn't make any fucking sense. But which that was a bad move.
We might have been way too kind to the Pelicans. I mean, I know they're having.
I don't think I was
that
kind to the Pelicans.
Yeah, I think we both had them like 11th or something. But I mean, they could be worse. I mean, with health issues,
yeah, I mean, the
obviously we don't do. That's not how we do our predictions. But
the Pels are fucking brutal to have the most losses. And also, I came out. I was sucking the Clippers off. They have not. They've looked good, but their winning percentage is bad. They've lost a couple close games. They're 1-4.
The Suns have lost a couple games they should have won.
Suns look a little lethargic, but that's the other thing is that like with basketball, it really does feel like 20 games is when 15 something like, you know what I mean? Like
sure, but I mean that's what we do here. We speculate. Unfairly.
Wildly. Yeah, wildly and unfairly. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, the Pelicans have the Suns coming up. They have the Kings coming up. They have the Warriors. Like they're fucked, bro. You look at the schedule, it's just like, and then plus Zion. When is Zion coming back?
I don't know, and it's tough. It must be very tough for him to stay in shape, injured. So
yeah, dude, clearly. He's in New Orleans too. That man is sucking down beignets left and right, bro. I'm going there for my best friend from growing up. She's getting married in December, and I'm officiating the wedding. But I probably would have been a bachelorette if I wasn't officiating. You know what I mean? Like I probably would have been to the bridal party. But it was kind of a clean thing of like, let me, we don't want a religious ceremony. We'll get Stav to do the fucking thing. So I'm going to New Orleans. I booked a show, and it's her bachelorette party. That's gonna be a brutal
madness. You got to take care of yourself, buddy.
I have to. That's the thing. Once the cabin's over, I have a few days to just like detox, eat salads, not fucking drink or smoke. I was also buying like beers as a joke. Like They had like Dunkin' Donuts. I was just getting every fat guy beer. They had like chocolate beers, peanut butter beers, and those are funny, but they're like the thickest. They're all stouts.
You have one of those. You don't get you don't have multiple flavored beers. That's something disgusting.
It's brutal, dude. But when you're high as shit, you got this tincture coming in. You got the edibles hitting Got them on time release.
When you have a joint, you want to have a flavored. You want like a strawberry, they have those like purple haze. I think it's like raspberry beer. You're like, fuck it,
the
why
raspberry
not?
wheat beers. I used to get fucked up off those in college a lot.
Sure.
For sure, dude. Yeah, we're smoking green crack up here.
Gary and I, after a show, we went into they had a New Orleans bar in Denver, and we got late night gumbo, and it was delicious.
Love that, dude.
And I saw they had the purple haze beer on tap, and I was like, I'm not gonna do it, but it brought me back.
Yeah, dude. Of course. That's a throwback to fucking your youth when you're
flavored beers.
Those
are made for children.
Those are made for. Oh yeah, Mike's Hard Lemonade that would just like advertise during wrestling.
Zima.
And it's like, oh, you're advertising. There's a bunch of fat 12-year-olds watching this, and they're like, "That looks delicious." Just fat nerds that love treats, but also want to prove that they're grown-ups. I wonder. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of women are buying this fucking cranberry Mike's Hard Lemonade that you have John Cena advertising. I bought a. We're up here. You can buy different strains. And we bought a strain called Larry Lovestein, which feels,
I'm looking it up.
Feels a little
weird.
It feels the name feels a little anti-Semitic. Who's Larry Lovestein? But I'm excited. I was smoking green crack. It's great to just be in there and be like, yes, I'll have some of the Lovestein and the crack, please. I'll have the triple cookies as well.
I think that the second this becomes legalized, they really throw it in the face of everybody,
Oh, apparently it's a Mac Miller strain. I didn't know that. Well, look at that. R.I.P.
R.I.P. man.
But yeah, and look, the Bucks, like I said, have looked not so great. Even the Hawks sitting at 3-3. I mean, there've been some early nice ones, but there've been the Cavs beat them, and I think.
But the Cavs started hot last year as well. I mean, they just don't have the pieces quite yet.
That's a big win for Philly to beat the Hawks.
Sure.
That matters. That kind of shit matters, psychologically. But, although they were missing Solomon Hill, it's like you got a DNP. But, that is legitimately a big win for them, and Maxey was pretty good, and, Embiid had 21, but he had 22, but, Tobias Harris had 22. Embiid had 19. It was pretty balanced, honestly.
Sixers are still 4-2 though. After all this shit, they're still 4-2. They've got the Blazers tonight, who are 3-3. These are both like must-win games.
I gotta say, I don't like what I'm seeing from the fucking Blazers, man.
I'm shocked that they've waited this long to blow it up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they will. Like Dame keeps. I mean, if they blow it up, it'll probably be CJ. Dame's talking about wanting to stay there, but
Sixers Bulls will be interesting too.
Yeah, for sure. Dude,
that'll be a good game. That's Wednesday.
Again, I have to give credit to the Bulls.
They got the Bulls again on Saturday. So a couple games. We got the Knicks Sixers again coming up and Knicks Bucks coming up. So I'm fired up.
Yeah. The Bucks, I think the Bucks, I don't feel great about their number one seed anymore because it does definitely feel like they're going to ease their way in, which maybe they should in hindsight. I just figured they had such continuity and Giannis is such a winner and that it feels like, it could be again, narrative-wise, him getting another MVP right after a championship, that feels like narrative-wise, he'll never have a better chance for the third.
The Knicks could be a number one seed, dude. If you look at how they're playing in the regular season,
you gotta chill, man.
No, I won't.
You gotta chill out, like you did.
Tell me why not? What's a better regular season? It doesn't look like the Nets or the Bucks are coming for it.
For the number one seed?
It doesn't look like it.
The Bulls probably would.
You're saying the Bulls are a 1 seed now?
No. You said the Knicks are, you fucking piece of shit. Don't you dare fucking ask like I'm the asshole, okay? The reason we're having this discussion is because you said the Knicks are the number 1 seed. And then you're like,
I didn't say they were. I said they could be.
And so when I'm doing I'm talking through your retarded thought exercise and you jump down my throat. Oh, well, maybe it's the Hornets, the fucking, you know, the Hawks. when they
You
get
don't
their
think the
shit
Knicks
together.
have a better shot at being the well, maybe it's the Heat, man. Maybe it's, but you're not telling me there's 4 teams that are 5-1 right now. It's the Knicks, the Heat, the Wizards, the Bulls. The Hornets are 5-2. Hornets aren't going to be a 1 seed. The Raptors are 4
It's not
and
the
3.
Raptors.
Yeah, they're not.
I think
the
Nets-
Sixers, if they figure something out with Simmons, could still be a very high seed.
I think so too, and I also think Nets and Bucks. This feels like the preseason for them. They've got injuries. They're figuring a bunch of stuff out. James Harden's talked about whatever.
Sure.
The Hawks haven't gotten.
They'll come on strong. No one's denying that.
The Hawks. I would say the Hawks are a much better choice for this than the New York Knicks.
Hawks are 3-3, and the Knicks are 5-1, brother.
In the land of the small sample size, the lunatic is king. That's what
Costco,
we're
bitch.
This is awesome, man. This is great actually to watch. You're right, man. They could be the fucking number 1 seed. I'm with you, dude. The thing is, this is a heat check season for you because you pulled up from the logo and swished last year. I'm not gonna take that from you. At every turn, I was like, "This is gonna end, Sam. Don't get so comfortable." And now you're like, "Fuck it, I'm doing." And I'm like, "Sam, you hit that 3, great. Let's get a nice possession here. Let's run a pick and roll, maybe."
I pull up again from even deeper.
You're like, "No, bitch, heat check, number 1 seed."
Let me tell you something, dude. Look, everyone wanted the Knicks to get Kyrie, Durant, and Zion. I'm happy with the team we got right now.
Brother.
Do you want Kyrie right now? I don't. Do you want Zion right now? There's a lot of health concerns.
I still do. I still absolutely do.
I'm happy with the team we got. I'm happy with the team that we put together the right way, brother.
Hey, listen, I'm just saying, Zion comes to New York instead of fucking New Orleans. There's a lot of healthy options in this city. Okay, he could be eating salad.
We would have to max him out.
He's not eating po' boys and gumbo.
He will be a max player because
he's healthy
because of his talent.
And he's looked like an animal. That's what happens if he comes to us.
Sure,
okay?
But if he's unhealthy, you're paying him max money to sit on the bench. Randall is making 105 to play every game and be an Iron Man.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna leave. We're gonna leave it at that. We're not gonna
play the song "Like a Rock" by Bob Seger.
we don't have an online producer anymore. You can't.
Sorry.
Harry's gone.
Hit it, Harry.
Harry's
from beyond
beyond the fucking the podcasting grave. Hit it from the afterlife, which is working for a real network.
This is a heat check, brother, and I'm taking it. The Knicks could be if the Knicks are a 1 seed, what are you gonna do?
I mean, what? I'll who knows, man. I'll just have to say I'm gonna start asking you to pick out stocks at random and putting my life savings into them. if the Knicks are number 1 seed.
You show up at the New York Stock Exchange with just like orange and blue face paint.
Yeah. And I go bankrupt, but the Knicks are it only works for basketball. So we're gonna end the episode here, folks. You heard it here. The Knicks are a 1 seed, and you would.
I said they're a possible 1 seed.
And you would rather have R.J. Barrett, Evan Fournier, and Kemba Walker
than Kyrie Irving and Zion.
Kyrie and Zion.
I like players who play.
All right. Listen, Sam is taking full advantage of.
This is my Donald Trump. I like war heroes that don't get caught moment.
Yeah. I like guys that don't get injured. Although with Kyrie, you get to fucking say that for sure.
Kyrie is always something. Like,
You're right.
no one's denying that guy would electrify the Garden.
You're right.
He is poetry in motion when he plays. He's the prettiest player I've ever seen, but he's got to play.
And a 20-year-old that posted the best shooting percentage for a big man since Shaq, you're ready to quit on him for sure.
I'm not quitting on him. I'm saying I think Zion's going to have an amazing career. I think RJ's going to have an even better one.
Folks, this is what you listen for. Early season lunacy from Sam Morril. And you know what? And we can't even I can't even tell him I'm wrong. That he's wrong because he got me last year. And every time I said, Sam, you're crazy, I still remember how clearly I knew I had beaten him when I got him to successfully bet Julius Randle for All-NBA. And then every forward in the fucking NBA got hurt, and Julius kept playing great. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done betting against this motherfucker. So, folks, enjoy that. Go put some money on.
Randall's all NBA this year too, dude. That's who he is now.
All right, you heard another pronouncement. He just went so hot that doesn't even count.
His 3-point shooting percentage is not where it will be at the end of the year. He's not shooting very well yet. He's still 21, 11, and 6.
He's a good fucking player. We're ending it. Listen, you had a great heat check. I don't want to disparage it anymore. Thank you guys for listening. Come see us live. I'm going to be in Detroit. This weekend, and I'm going to be in Columbus this weekend as well, and then New Orleans after that. Actually, as much as we've been talking about Zion, don't forget who was supporting Zion when Sam was fucking poo-pooing him. It was me. So come out and see me next weekend on Saturday while I'm at that bachelorette party. Come see me on mushrooms, do stand-up comedy probably, or something else wild. We love you. Thanks for listening.
I'll be in Phoenix this weekend.
Yeah,
I'll be in SF the following weekend. Charlotte, Miami.
Ooh,
I'll be
all basketball towns.
All basketball towns, brother.
You got to go to a game, bro.
I got it. And what else? Dallas, another basketball town.
I love it.
It's going down.
I love it. And I will be I'm recording a special. I announced it already. It already sold out. Thanks for everybody. But
I love it.
I'm doing warm-up shows in LA the night before, in Irvine, actually, a little outside LA. So I'm doing a warm-up show Sunday before the special. And if that one sells out too, maybe I'll add another LA post special where you don't get to hear any of the material. I haven't been like Sam is a professional, right? He starts thinking about the next special while he's shooting this one. I have, and this is my first one, so I've had 13 years to be thinking of some extra material. I ain't got it, folks. So the first show after I record this special, you will be seeing bullshit. It will be an hour of like, hey, nice fucking shirt. What did you kiss the guy you're sitting next to? I'll be doing that for about an hour. But anyway, thanks for fucking listening. We appreciate it, and we'll be back with the Patreon later in the week. Bye, guys.
Bye.